Hello, and thank you for joining me for Lunchtime Look. My name is Sharon Rogers, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wells, Maine. And every Thursday at noon, I like to provide you with a little creative break. As you wind down your work week or just your midweek and start ramping up to the weekend, which hopefully is a time when you can get crafty, I like to provide you with some ideas. Sometimes they're stamping projects, or sometimes today it's just a little storage idea for you. Nonetheless, I like to provide you with something that gets you thinking about this hobby and passion that we have for paper crafts. Let's get started. This tip is for all you paper pumpkin fans. Whether you just get paper pumpkin from time to time, maybe it's gifted to you, or you just purchase 1 or 2 boxes on a whim, or if you are a monthly subscriber, you know that inside Paper Pumpkin, you'll get a stamp set. Now, this was the March 2026 Paper Pumpkin kit, and in it there were 2 stamp sets, and that meant the artwork came with it. So I have those cut apart. They came as 1 sheet, and what I want to do now is I want to repurpose this and put these into my stamp supply so I can just look at them and grab them and go. So we've got the artwork here, and it does match up with the stamp set. So if I were to flip this over here, that matches up just like that. But if I cover it up on this side so that I know where my stamps go, then I have a little bit of trouble dealing with it on the back side. So let me show you what you can do, and then let me show you how you can store it all. I'm going to bring in a piece of vellum that's about the same size, maybe a little bit larger than the stamp set. I'm going to peel off the flimsy side of the backing. Don't throw it away. You're not done with it. And I'm going to ink up my stamp. Now, I use any dark ink. This one happens to be Pretty Peacock because it's pretty. And I ink it up. And then I'm going to stamp onto the vellum. Now, the reason why I'm using vellum is because I actually want the reverse of this image. And you'll see why in just a moment. Okay. So now that I've got it stamped, and honestly, sometimes I stamp it that way, and sometimes I put my vellum to the ink, to the stamp set. Doesn't matter. Now I'll take this and I will go and run it under water. I keep the backing on. I run the whole thing under water, pat it dry, and then I'm good to go. Be right back. Okay, this is clean now. I'm going to put my flimsy sheet back over it. And I want to attach this to the back side of here, but again, I want to be able to know where my stamp set, which ones are missing. Paper pumpkin stamp sets aren't so huge that it's, usually much of a problem, but still I like to make sure that they are all accounted for. And so when I look at the stamped side of this, it's the flimsy side that matches up. But when I flip it over, then the hard plastic side, okay, now the hard plastic side is down, it matches up. The words are backwards. There's no words on this one. The words would be backwards, but that's okay. I'm just trying to line it up so that I know what stamps I have and which ones I don't. I'm going to take a little bit of tear and tape. You can use glue dots. You can use whatever you want. I like tear and tape because it holds pretty well. I'll put that on here. And put this, I want to make sure I've got the right side down. So I don't want the ink, I want the ink side against the paper. In other words, upside down. And so now what I can do is I can take this hard plastic side, and I'm going to put a little bit more tear and tape on here. Again, you don't have to do this. I just find I like keeping the images with the stamps, and I like having the image on both sides so I can see what I'm missing when I'm looking at this stamp set, and I can have a better view on the other side. So again, I've done the same thing over here. I've already got my stamped images adhered down to the back side of this, and you can see here that your images are when you're looking at your words, you can see that they're they're not really readable unless you translate them in your mind, which most of us do, I think. Let's go ahead and finish this process off, and then I'll show you what I do with them, because I can't keep them in the paper pumpkin box. That just takes up a lot of room. But they're clear stamps. I've got to do something, and I've got to take care of them. One of the benefits of paper pumpkin stamps is there's always some nice words in there to grab, and there's always nice images too. But honestly, I love paper pumpkin for the extra sentiments. So now I'm going to take this stamp and die organizer. This is what your stamps and dies now come in. And you can buy a package of 10 of these for $16. So it's $1.60 each. And now look, I'm going to be able to fit 2 of these in here. I mean, could I do more? Yes, I don't want to, because I want to be able to see the artwork. And if you don't like putting them this way because maybe they'll fall together like that, you can put them back to back. So now you can see them. You could even put 4 in here and store them if you wanted to, because there's going to come a point where they're not going to be able to fall on top of each other because there's no more room. So I could put 4 of these in here and really make them last. Now, if you buy a lot of bundles, you might do as I do and put your stamps and dies in one sleeve. And so that's why I have this extra sleeve, because I took the dies out of it and put it with the stamps that they coordinate with. I also have lots of these old ones from our dies from before we changed to this new packaging. And these fit in here as well. So just a great way to store some extra stamps, protects them, and you can see them at a quick glance and get more use out of them. All right, now perhaps you don't want to see just a lot of white. Maybe you like to color code. Here's an example. I've stamped on, now I don't color code, but I put the April 2026 paper pumpkin kit onto some extra pretty in pink cardstock. That cardstock was retired. I had some scraps, so I thought, let's use them up. Now, in hindsight, if I wanted to make all my masculine stamps and occasions, because for instance, April is almost always Father's Day. If I wanted to get them all kind of color coded together, maybe I would do blue for, a more masculine color than pink. But it's up to you. If I could separate words from images, if my brain, my Sharon brain, would allow me to do that and not keep a stamp set intact together, then I would totally separate by, I would separate out my sentiments. I might have all the birthdays on a sheet, and I might have all the thank yous on a sheet, or I just might have all the words together. But you can color code that way as well. All my birthday sentiments are purple and all my thank yous are green. Things like that. You do what works for you. Now, when I did this one, I just stamped on the cardstock, and I didn't do the vellum trick on the back. And so you can see that, there's no image under here. So I just have to kind of keep track. Does it look like there's a hole here? If there's a hole, I'm probably missing a stamp, and then I can just go find it on this side. But I really do like having it on both sides, generally speaking. So, but again, do what works for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have found today's organizational / storage idea useful and that it is already getting you thinking about how you might better organize so that you can better utilize the stamps that you have. Now, tomorrow night, I have my new catalog and bunko event. So that means I will not have a Friday night live, but I will have a Friday night not so live right on my YouTube channel at 7:30 as usual, and we will be creating one of the cards that my new catalog launch / bunko attenders are going to be creating. So I hope you'll join me. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I will see you soon.